Hey everyone, thanks so much for opting in. My name's Ryan Lelf, and for those of you that haven't had a chance to read our blog or follow me on Facebook, I really appreciate you joining us here. This is tip 1 of 5 tips and things that I'm going to share from my adventure with cancer. If you haven't had a chance to read our blog or you don't know the details of my story, I got diagnosed at age 35 of stage 4 advanced non-Hodgkin's lymphoma cancer in October 2015. I had a tumor load from my groin to my neck. I had a basketball-sized cluster in my stomach. It was in my spleen and had metastasized to my bone marrow. When we talked to our oncologist and met with many doctors, basically they told us there was no cure on the side of Western medicine, conventional and traditional treatments. They said if I responded well to chemo, I might be able to live 10 years, depending on how often I might have to repeat that, maybe for 6 months every 2 years, who knows. Worst case scenario they told me I might be able to, I might actually die from the chemo faster than I did even the cancer in the first 6 months. And when I decided that that wasn't the route I wanted to take, and I wanted to see if I could help the body heal and take more of a healing, alternative, natural way and path, they told me I wouldn't even live 2 to 3 months. So one of the first things that I did, and one of the things that I believe everyone can do, even if you just have symptoms, if you're sick, if you're not feeling well, or you've been diagnosed with cancer, is we can immediately evaluate our diet. What is our food intake? I believe that it matters. I wish I could have believed that long before I got diagnosed with advanced cancer and had tumors all throughout my body. But for some reason as humans, we sometimes fight the things that can benefit us the most. So coming from a standard American diet where I was eating burgers and fries, pizza, muffins, waffles, anything that wasn't good for you, I was having it multiple times a day. I was a very picky eater. In fact, I even had a phobia of trying new foods. I essentially ate no vegetables, definitely no nuts and seeds. I don't even know what herbs were. I didn't know what sprouts were. And I was eating little fruit even though I liked it. And one of the first things I did the minute I thought that I had cancer is I looked at my wife, Caroline, and I said, what do I got to eat? I knew diet played a role. So you might ask, well, what diet have you been eating? What diet did you follow? Because here we are 16 months later. I have combined a conventional drug called Rituxan and using a couple of months of that immunotherapy along with many alternative things, detoxing, and everything I could find on the emotional and spiritual and mental healing side to recently just get a third and final PET scan that showed I am now NED, no evidence of disease. Thank God there is no cancer in my body. So you might be asking, and I know many people are going to want to know, what diet did I follow? And was it easy to transition? And was I able to do it overnight? Well, I can tell you folks, I would have never imagined how strong my food addiction was until I felt like I absolutely needed and had to overhaul my food intake. Coming off of that standard American diet, wow, it felt like I was having withdrawals. I would have these nightmares in the middle of the night. My mind would just be racing in the middle of the day, and it would be thinking about everything from donuts to tacos to burgers and fries to pizza. And I mean, literally, it was a very interesting transition. So just know this, perfection is not required. So where did I start? Well, my wife knew some things about juicing. She knew that it would be best for me to eat a lot more vegetables. And she tried to move me to basically a plant-based diet, although she was still feeding me some eggs and some chicken and maybe like some salmon and stuff in the very beginning. Then we learned about a thing called the Gerson protocol, and it gave us a game plan. So we started following that, and I ended up going to an alternative clinic in Mexico. And after 2 or 3 months, though, I was struggling to keep up with the 13 juices, and I wasn't doing very good at actually eating all the things that the entire diet and protocol was built around. So cancer is hard. Being sick can be very difficult. And I began looking into other things. I mean, there are a lot of protocols out there. There are people that have healed themselves on a raw food diet. There are people that have used the Budwig protocol. There are even people who claim they've used the paleo diet or the ketogenic diet. There are a lot of different versions of what people are using to assist in their healing journey. And for me, I've just kind of landed on more of a raw food diet. And specifically, I've done a lot of homework and a lot of research and really fell in love with what fruit could do for my body. One of the things my health coach taught me is that you can't really digest and heal at the same time. Like the body wants to heal, it can heal, and it will heal, but it's very difficult if it's having to put all of its energy towards digestion. It's hard for it to focus on healing and regenerating and rebuilding our bodies for the damage that's been done. So he painted a picture for me. He said, Ryan, fruit is the most easily digestible food on the planet. It is so amazing. You can digest it sometimes in as quick as 15 to 20 minutes. So if I want to heal and I want to get better, I had to think about, man, if I'm only eating fruit, at times, I'm delaying my healing by 15 or 20 minutes. He said, now, Ryan, on the other hand, since you've loved hamburgers your whole life, those can take 1 to 3 days to digest. So I had to think, man, do I really want to put my healing on hold for 1 to 3 days or 15 to 20 minutes? That visual really helped me. And so what I follow today, and this is kind of my tip, I just want you to know that the sooner you can embrace and believe that diet matters, and you can find one that has some type of a proven track record. Obviously, if someone's telling you that they healed themselves by eating at McDonald's every day, you might want to be a little bit leery of that. I'm not here to tell you that one diet's better than the other diet, or to never eat meat, or to only eat raw meat, or to eat this fruit over that fruit, or why you should have veggies at this time of the day versus that time of the day. All I'm doing is sharing with you my experience. I was also, just so you know, according to my original blood work, I was pre-diabetic, I had thyroid issues, and I was high risk for heart disease. And now all of those are considered perfectly normal, along with reversing stage 4 cancer. So I follow a simple philosophy. My health coach taught me, and I believe this with all my heart, that our body actually craves things. Cravings are a good thing. They crave sugar, salt, and fat in abundance, and they need it daily typically, okay? So, and then he taught me another simple philosophy, which was our stomach is like a freeway system. He calls it fastest cars first. Eat the foods that digest the quickest and the soonest and the easiest first, so that you don't create a traffic jam in your intestines and in your GI tract. Now, so what do? I try to do intermittent fasting, where I finish eating by 7 o'clock at night and don't start eating until 10 a.m. the next morning. That gives me 15 hours a day out of every 24 hours that I feel like I'm giving my body 100% permission and freedom to go heal itself and not have to put any energy towards digestion. I start my day off with a lot of fruit, then I transition to greens once I'm satisfied on fruit, and then I transition to fats, avocados, nuts, and seeds. So when my body's craving sugar, my first indicator now today is, Ryan, you didn't eat enough fruit. When my body's craving things like potato chips, which is salt, sodium, I'm like, I didn't eat enough greens. Or when I'm feeling a little bit weak and my body's craving fats, I'm like, I need some more avocados. I need to eat another bag of almonds. I got to have more seeds. So our bodies need sugar, salt, and fat in abundance. Whether you adopt this eating lifestyle or you end up finding another path that's going to work for you, what I'm suggesting is let's move away from the processed food. Let's move away from dead, fake food. One great way to think about it is that if it can only be alive for a couple of days, and if we don't eat it, it goes bad, it's probably good for us. If it can sit in our pantry for a year and still be edible, that's probably not something that's going to create life and healing in our bodies. See, folks, diet plays a massive role. It's not the only part of healing, and that's why this is just tip 1 of things that I did, 5 things that I did that I believe could help anyone who is sick or has a diagnosis of cancer. So please stay tuned for tip number 2 as we're going to dive into what I did in regards to supplements, tinctures, and herbs on the next video. Really appreciate you watching. Have a great day.